Let's talk about the guide grid next. While you're watching TV, if you press the guide button on the remote, that brings up the guide grid. The left column in the grid has all the channel logos. Most of the channel logos are clear and decent, but some of them are not. The stations haven't done a great job designing their logos, so they're not as clear as some of the other ones. Next to the channel logos, we have the channel numbers 2.3, 2.4, so on and so forth. And next to that are the channel names: Comet, Scripps, WAGA, HD, Movies, etc. And to the right of that, we have the guide grid itself with the individual program cells. Now, if you've ever had the cable TV service and a cable box, the ZapperBox's guide grid functions essentially the same way. You can use the arrow keys to move around in the guide, going up, down, right, left. When a cell is highlighted, the detailed program information for that particular cell is displayed on top of the grid. Right now I have Sherry highlighted. You can see the title and the date is today. Program starts at 11, ends at 12. Next to that, we have the ATSC3 icon in color, indicating that this is an ATSC3 channel. And to the right of that, we have the TV rating PG. And below it is a detailed description for the program. Now, if I go to the cell below that, we have Mildred Pierce, again, TV PG. We have the program description. If I go up, Morning Rush. You can also go to a particular channel by entering the channel number. For example, if I enter number 11 on the remote, press OK, that puts the channel 11 on the grid. So, but it doesn't tune to it. In order to tune to it, I will have to press the OK. So this one, 11 Alive News at 11, doesn't have any program description, but you can see it has the ATSC3 logo in color, and also it has the color key indicating this is an encrypted channel. Now, if I go above that, the Curious George, the episode title is in gold. In case of emergency, George's BFF. And then below that, we have the season number 14 and episode number 12. And the rerun icon indicates this is a rerun program. It's not new. And TVY is the parental rating. And below it is the description. Also, while in the guide, you can press the zap key and you get these 4 arrows on the 4 sides of the grid. And this puts the guide in what I call the turbo mode. And in turbo mode, you can move around by a full page. For example, on top of the grid on the left, the date says today. If I hit the right arrow key, it goes to May 31st, June 1st, 2nd, 3rd, so on and so forth. And if I hit the left arrow key, I can go back by a full day. Eventually, I end up at today. Also, if I press the up and down arrow keys, I can move in the grid by a full page. I can go up by a full page, and I can go down by a full page. And to get out of the turbo mode, press the zap key, and that puts you back in a normal mode where you can, again, move around the grid one cell at a time. Also, when a cell is highlighted, if you press the info key, that brings up the info banner. Now, currently, the info banner does not have any more information that's already displayed on the detailed program info section of the grid itself. But in the future, there should be some additional information on the program info banner that may not be on the grid itself. So keep that in mind. Also, if you noticed, when I was in turbo mode, I have the extended guide data subscription on my ZapperBox. I know there are some mixed feelings about a subscription-based guide data, but the reality is the over-the-air guide data is limited and doesn't have a lot of the detailed information that's available with the extended guide data subscription. For example, things like poster URLs, cast and crew, genre, episode title, things like that are typically not provided on over-the-air guide data for major networks like ABC, CBS. Even though these major networks do have some limited guide data for 24 hours, they usually don't have the extended data. In addition, the fringe channels may not have any guide information at all. So to get the extended data for beyond 24 hours and also get all the detailed information that's not available over the air, ZapperBox has to subscribe to a third-party guide data provider. There's a subscription fee for that, and there's also a royalty fee for every ZapperBox that does have a 14-day guide data subscription. In addition, ZapperBox will have to have an engineer to support the 14-day guide data and resolve any customer issues. So that's where the ZapperBox subscription fee for the 14-day guide data comes from. Now you don't have to subscribe to the 14-day guide data. You can just use the over-the-air. But really, to take full advantage of your ZapperBox DVR functionality, it probably makes sense to have the 14-day guide data subscription. One more last thing I wanted to mention is you can check whether you have 14-day guide data subscription or not from the system menu. So if I press the menu button and go to settings, again, you won't have this menu because it's an advanced feature that hasn't been released yet. But if you press the menu key on your remote, it should take you to the settings menu here. And then you can go down to about, go to device info, and in here you will see, for example, on mine says guide subscription expires on Friday, January 2nd, 2026. And above that, the secure content is enabled. It means my box has been provisioned to decrypt encrypted channels. And also I have a dual tuner, number of tuners is 2. Device ID is ACDB DA63079. Now it's important if you ever contact customer support and they ask you for the device ID, this is the number you need to provide, not the serial number. You need to provide the device ID. I hope that helps. And I can press the menu to get rid of the system menu.